Hello everyone, Jak Syn here on behalf of TourFiend.com and Future Daze, and today is another exciting episode of Artist Interviews. Today I am sitting with Victor Hugo of Material Memorie. How you doing today, Victor?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. You know, it's a nice, beautiful day here in sunny California.
Yeah.
Birds are chirping, nature's out in abundance. So I'm saying I'm having a pretty good day. What about you?
I'm pretty good. I have a couple of projects I'm working on today, and it's actually blistering hot outside, so I'm not going to step out there being my vampire self. But yeah, otherwise, I'm looking at it like an intense day later. I'll be helping an artist release his music at midnight, which is like something like fun and creative that I've been a part of. So yeah, I'm excited for the rest of the day.
That's pretty awesome. I know right now it is. I mean, it's hot where you're at. It's hot where I'm at as well. You know, going outside, yes, you feel like you're gonna burn up like a crisp. You know, stay inside in the shadows with the air conditioner on. I'm
Yes,
okay with
please.
that for right now. You know, but
Yeah.
these little things at a time, I can stand by the window and look outside and be like, okay, that's nature enough for me right now. I'm good.
Like I go look out the window in shades with shades on, you know what I mean? I'm just kind of like, okay, it's bright. It's bright. I don't know. I don't know. I'll think about it. Um, but I do enjoy nature actually. Like I actually do enjoy like being I love actually like I'm from New York. So like I actually do love I'm very lucky that I have a backyard in the city. So I get to enjoy the honking and all the trucks and still have my little piece of nature, you know. So I actually do enjoy being out there, but I'm in the shadow.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, we have a little patio here at our place here in Signal Hill. I mean, it's a nice, you know, got little palm trees, you know, and nice blue skies. So those little things here, you know, it's so great because we have these little nuances here that we can really we can really enjoy. Even in the thick of the chaos, we can still enjoy the little things, and that's what's
Yeah, yeah. I kind of like me and my partner here, we're very lucky. We like built this kind of like sanctuary for ourselves, like where we were able kind of like made ourselves a home gym, out of kind of like finding like pieces on Craigslist and things like that. And like really kind of like getting back into the rhythm of like what kind of like normality was, but like, you know, just like facing the new normal, just shaping what it is for us. So we've been like very lucky and fortunate that we've been able to do that, and that we have the space in New York, number one. But otherwise, yeah, it's been like, you know, it's hard some days, but like we try to make the days better, you know. That's what like I try every morning at least, you know, like just what can I do today to make my day better? And if it's like sometimes I have to go out for a run, you know, it helps. Trust me, it does help. Like it's like the endorphins, you know.
yeah.
Um, it's like, you know, just try to like, you know, embrace life as we can, you know, as much as we can safely. Um,
Exactly, exactly. I mean, being able to do that, the little things like putting positive things, adapting to our daily life as best we can, that right there is what is
yeah,
important.
yeah.
So today, we're going to ask you a couple of questions and see where it goes from here. Are you ready to get into it?
I'm ready.
So tell us about your company, Material Memorie.
So Material Memory is such an interesting project for me. It is like, it is my baby, number one. And it's like often mistaken as like this like team of like 1,000 bedazzlers or something like that. And it's like me. It's just me. It's me and like I have like one really really amazing talented girl who comes and helps me. She's actually my cousin too. That she's like so fierce. So when like you know when I do need a hand, she comes in. But otherwise, it's like 100% me. And Material Memory started in a broad sense, like you can say like I bedazzle things and I make things fabulous and fierce. You know, I got something fun.
Oh,
So these are
wow.
glossy crystals. Um, but you know, this took 10 years. You know, I started Material Memory when I was in college. I was studying at the Fashion Institute of Technology, and over the summers, like I just like I went in as a transfer student too, having like studied illustration before that at SVA, which I hated. But anyway, uh, I went on to go to FIT, and then like I just had like so many ideas, because like I was just so like inspired and like pushed by like the people that like the professors and the mentors at the school, that like I just had these ideas that I just like kind of kept for myself. Um, and then like they just kind of started slowly, like as like masks, as props, as really different things that I like carefully crafted myself. And then like they started to shape as like masks, but they weren't like this like fierce baby here, you know, like this is like, oh my God, it's like my favorite, one of my favorite projects. But yeah, like they were like crafty at first, but they were just a way for me back then to kind of like expel this like creative energy that I had. And then like little did I know back then, that I was creating this fucking monster, like, you know, within myself. Like it was really cool, like because it was this way that I got to express a different side of me. You know, I grew up like, you know, Catholic school, you know, and I was, you know, closeted all until college. So kind of material memory really helped, you know, become who I am, because I was just taking these ideas and I was just trying to, you know, like make them fierce, really, honestly. Like, and the ideas, like, you know, they came from everywhere. They like, I was inspired by like hair sculptures. I was inspired by a lot of the scary stories you tell in the dark, those illustrations. I was like that, like I love that. And I was like just kind of trying to make them, they were illustrations. So I was just trying to give them form for myself back then. And they eventually, you know, it started to become a thing. Like I made like these knockoff Lady Gaga glasses from like the the Fame cover from 2008 or something. And like that, then like someone like he wore them out to like a concert, and then it was like, where'd you get those? And they're like, oh, he did. And like, okay. And then all of a sudden I needed to make a website, and I had to do all these things, and I just was like so unprepared. So I like made an Etsy, and then I made an eBay, and then I was like, what the fuck? Why, like I'm making all these like Lady Gaga glasses, and I'm like, what about like what I have to say? Because I was making these masks, right? So like I was like, well, like it's just a different canvas. So I just started to take these ideas and kind of give them shape onto like frames. And they, you know, they were fucking wild at first. Like I was like attaching hair and leather and putting Swarovski crystals all over it. And then I was getting like really twisted, and I was getting like taxidermy bones, and I was bedazzling that, and then I was like tarring them and melting them, and it was like really wild. But you know, I kind of like doing all of that. Like I kind of started to kind of form an idea or an identity of like, you know, like I said, this monster of like what material memory is or what it can be. So like that's where I think the around like 2014, that's when like it started to really take the brand. Like that's when it became like material memory the brand, and not material memory as much as the creative artist, you know, doing things. And what was cool was that I was getting like, I was working with like what who are now like some of them Vogue photographers back then, because they just liked what I was doing. So I kind of like had a step in the industry like back then, but like I never was like in anything like, you know, as major, like as like a publication or something like that. It took until like I started to like find the voice of what I wanted material memory to be for everyone else, because I was selling the product now, that it became like a brand message. And I realized that it was an expression and a reflection of who I am. So it was, you know, always thought from then on that it was going to be something about being collaborative and inclusive, being diverse, celebrating all of that. And more importantly, like I wanted to kind of do what material memory does for me, which is like, it helped me like, you know, become myself. And I think that's when it clicked, when like I started to sell and I realized that people like just like lit up with joy. Like there was just this thing that came, this really beautiful positive energy that came in. And I saw that it was like I get it. Like, you know, it's like, I get it now. It's like, it's a transference. It's a transference of confidence, you know, and it became this, what I hope to be one day, like as we grow or as I grow, like into something, you know, that I think that everyone can have, like almost like a, you know, in grander terms, like a Kate Spade offers something for like all of their, every generation, you know, of their women. I would love to be that representation, you know what I mean, at one point of that does that for, you know, queer kids, and kids that are like, or people that are just like, you know what I mean, need a night out, you know what I mean, need to like dispel this energy that, because I know what that feels like that joy, that transformation, where like, who are you? You know what I mean? Why do you look this fierce? You know, I get it. So I think that's like the biggest thing that I've like wanted to and shaped Material Memorie into. So it did turn into fierce sunglasses. So like, it's like, these are my latest, and these are like really fun.
Oh, those are great. I love those. Wow, look at those.
Yeah.
Those are amazing.
Thank you. So like, you know, it's like a lot of craft. It's a lot, and I mean by craft, like a lot of work. It all starts as a sketch. It goes into like this digital design. I then design it digitally. I like refine it like for shape. And then it gets like, then I find the colors that I want to work with, and I find the frames that I want to work with. And then I cut them out of laser, with a laser cutter out of acrylic. And then it becomes these, out of, you know, dedication and I don't know what else, they become what they are. And they're no easy feat. They take days, hours to make. And that's why I think it's such a reflection of me too, because when I do make my glasses or anything that I make, even if it's a mask or a jacket, I've done really fun projects. Like I have to like go into like, I'm there concentrating with like these tiny, tiny, tiny rhinestones, and I have to concentrate like, and it's like, as I stare into each facet, it's I'm almost like I'm like talking to myself. It's like, and placing it. It's very methodical. It's very therapeutic. It could become a nightmare sometimes because it's like, you know what I mean? You're just talking to yourself all day. Like, but you know, it's a deep, for me, it's like a spiritual act when I create.
And that's amazing. You know, as an artist, you know, design things that help create the person that you are. Over the years, whatever type of art that you're investing your time into, it's funny how it kind of shapes your reality. You know, you as a person, like creating everything that you have created, it's really great to see that has helped cement you into the person that you have become. You know, over the years, I think that a lot of people, you know, with their, you know, what they create, what they design, it's very fluid. And your designs, you know, what you have created, I mean, those are some really amazing designs. Like seeing what you've done, like when I go to your Instagram page and I see all of the designs you've created, I'm like, oh my God, these are some of the most amazing things that I've ever laid eyes on. You know, and you're right, when you're in those processes and you are sitting there like being meticulous with all the designing that you're doing, you really does suck you into your own little world, and you kind of like, you're working, and you look up and I go, oh my God, 10 hours just passed. I can't believe it.
It has happened so often. I can't even, I don't know. I can't count the days that's happened to me. I start something at, you know, 2 in the afternoon, and then all of a sudden it's 3 a.m. You know, and I just like haven't noticed because I just gotten up to snack here and there. And I was just like, what happened? But then, you know, I'm often like rejuvenated and exhausted from it. Because like especially when I'm creating something really new or something custom for someone, I like, oh man, like that's like adrenaline, you know. It's like you know, I work with a lot of performers, and I get it, like, you know what I mean, that kind of rush you get from you know, making something great or performing on stage. You know, there's a transference of energy, definitely, and it's positive. So like I feed off of that, you know, immensely, and it's just kind of like, it's kind of like, that's why I think why when I create, that's why like I'm in this energy kind of like bubble, and I'm creating this piece, especially for this person or for this project or something. And I'm like, just kind of transferring this energy and this thought process, this design, the craft into it, thinking about it, and it, you know what I mean? Then I give it to someone, you know what I mean? And it's a gift, or then it's a purchase and it's theirs, but it was mine, like it was like, here, this is for you now. So it's like something that I take a lot of pride in.
And it is an extension of you. It's an extension of you as a person, as a creator, like somebody who poured their blood, sweat, and tears into their craft. That's taken hours of their life to perfect. And I mean, I'm sure whenever you give that piece to somebody else or transfer that piece to somebody else, you kind of feel like, oh, part of me is leaving and going out into the world. But that is who we are as human beings. Like, we transfer energy all the time,
Oh, yeah.
Positive energy, sometimes negative energy, but it's us transferring energy.
Definitely. It's funny you say the transference of that. Like on a high, like on a creative high, when I'm making something like a new collection of whatever they are, whether it's glasses or masks or whatever they may be, I go on this like creative high, and then when I'm completely done with them, when they're like, it's all edited and done, and they've gone out into the world and people have seen them and the stylist has pulled them, there's this like immense depression that happens to me, that after like, it's kind of like my baby's leaving the nest, and it's just kind of like I go through this syndrome, or I'm just kind of like upset that and happy, you know what I mean, for the new life that they have, that it's just kind of, it's weird. It's just kind of like, oh, my children, that's why that's why it's like, as I said in the beginning, it's such my baby, it's everything to me still.
You're right. It is just like that. It's like, whenever I write music, or whenever I do a piece of artwork or something for some event, it's like I'm putting it out there. I'm like, okay, well, I've got to say goodbye to this. I have to mentally prepare myself. I have to put this out there and go, oh, my baby's going out into the world. It's going to grow up to be a strong boy. You know what I mean? It's gonna be fine. And that's what it's all about. As an artist, it's about us, giving what we create to the world and adding to the collective universe, if you will.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What are 3 of your favorite moments from your career as a designer?
I'm going to just speak very generally, because I've been very humbled every time I've had any even small or major accomplishment with Material Memorie or within my life because of Material Memorie. Because I really, it's like 10 years of work that like got me here, but like you know what I mean? I recently got to work with Lady Gaga on the House Labs campaign, and just like, that just like really like blew up like everything for me back then. It happened right before the lockdown. But like, speaking generally, working with like her team, working with like Kim Petra's team, and a lot of like leading LGBTQ icons in their own right, working with them and their teams and like promoting, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like they're messengers for what I'm doing. So I'm like very grateful for that. I've been tapped to do some runway shows, from all the way from France to like here in New York with Garo Sparrow this last season. And like, just like I'm one person, like I said, so it's very humbling when, these like things happen, and like, then what's cool is then my like, there's images with like my glasses, my work, you know what I mean? Something that is like so personal to me. It's like in Vogue, that's fucking wild. So like, I take like no moment for granted. So like, just working with these leading people, artists and musicians, whether big or small, I'm very happy with everyone that, that has worn my work. And, there's so much. I got to create these really amazing images last year with one of my favorite photographers. Her name is Sequoia Emanuel. And she's shot like Dita Von Teese and Three Teeth, you know what I mean? Just to give you some perspective of like, just where her work is. And like, you know what I mean? When she uses my work and we work together, it's just like this, like, like it's so good. And like, because of that, like, you know, like I got to, so many doors opened up for me personally. Like I felt like, you know, I got this like kind of like fashion like approval, you know, and that we were just vibing as friends, you know, and we made these images and they were just so amazing, and like the response was incredible. The queens from RuPaul's Drag Race are cool, like they're all really dope. Like they've worn my stuff. They like Aquaria, like she just pulls them out, like, you know, and has like a whole look around it, and I'm like, I don't even know how, like, you know, like I think of my designs so like methodically, and you know, and then like the way that these queens have like worn them and reimagined them into something bigger, like is just so like, what, you know, it's always really humbling, all of that.
I mean, and those right there, those are some great moments, you know. I mean, yeah. as you create and as you design and as you, like we were talking earlier, send your stuff out into the world, it's like, it's really great to see that, you know, other people, like they take those designs and they help build on them, you know, like accessorizing, like creating something even larger, you know, than the initial design.
What has been very cool is that when I have worked with, you know, any of these people, it's like I've automatically felt like there was a synergy already. Like they understood the work that I was doing, and they knew, you know, it's always been symbiotic, I feel. And, you know, I take no moment for granted. It's been really cool to see how they can reimagine things, even how I, you know, like like I said, I have a very dark way of looking at things. I have a dark perspective. I'll put pentagrams on sunglasses and bedazzle them, you know, and I have this fierce mask that is also very dark. But then, you know, the way that, you know, stylists and even everyday people, you know, like these like fierce fashion individuals that, this girl from Brooklyn, Scarlett Bob, she's so cool. Like the way she interprets herself with me, you know, with like I said, like a part of me always. So it's fulfilling in that way to see.
It's like creativity living within creativity, art adding to art, you know, art creating life, you know, creating a universe out there. And I mean, your other memories, like, you know, being able to work with, you know, Lady Gaga and her team as well. I mean, I'm sure that was, you know, that moment for you was just like, oh my God, I can't believe that.
Mind blowing.
Yeah.
You know, like you know, it was funny. I kind of like almost like I had a really rough year last year. I'm sure a lot of people did. But like, you know, it's kind of interesting because like, despite my personal rough year, like I had like all these highlights that happened, you know, by working with all these people that like, you know, there was a billboard with my shit on it. And I was like, what? Like, you know, but like, you know, towards the end of 2019, I was like almost like throwing in the towel. And I was like, oh my God, I think I need to take a break or something like that. And then like, I wasn't even looking at my phone. And then I got all these notifications, and it was like my friends had seen it before me. And I was like, what is going on? And I was like, it was wild. It was just wild. Like I didn't know, I couldn't reply fast enough was like the thing. Like it brought new eyes. It brought like a lot of people who really appreciate my work now. And I'm working on a lot of cool projects too that like are starting to restart now as we slowly, you know, reopen, you know, and as things happen again, you know, performers are looking for new ways to you know, showcase themselves. So I'm working with a lot of cool people on that.
And I'm sure it's going to get even more and more busy for you as the machine starts to pick up again, because, you know, as we were kind of going, you know, through the motions as of the last, 4 or 5 months, it's like, you know, it's like we've all slowed down. You know, first we panicked and then we all slowed down.
Yeah.
And then, now the machine is starting to pick up speed a little bit here and there. I mean, there's certain parts, of the United States still where you guys are starting to come out a little bit better out there in New York.
I mean, like to the best we can, like we've had our own problems too, with people not, unfortunately killing it for the rest of us. But yeah, every day we're trying, and that's like, we're trying to be better is I think the important thing. We're like part of that collective that's like trying to do better for everyone. We're thinking outside of ourselves.
And we are adapting as best as we can, and the machine is starting to pick up speed again. So I can just imagine you're going to be like out there even more than you have been, recently.
Just on a personal level, like if just on a way of like how I'm going to like kind of like reflect this period in my life, which is through Material Memorie, is going to be very interesting, and it's probably going to be pretty fucking fierce and dark. But my brain has started to get like a little wild again with like, it started to, I was like little like, shut down by it at first, but it was a time the last 4 months, as the machine has started rolling, as my brain has started working again, like I've been like rejuvenated by like a lot of the creative energy with people creating masks, Black Lives Matter, everyone just gathering together for something good. Just I've been very reflective over, despite all the darkness, how good people have been. So I've been like re-energizing myself and my creative mind to, expel that into something that I hope everyone will love by next year.
Definitely. There is a lot, with everything going on, even though a lot of it's dark and a lot of it, it's change. It's good for positive change too. It's like it's a lot of influences happening right now. We're at a time in our lives that like pretty much all of us have never experienced before. We are in a moment where, it's like in the middle of a pandemic, but also in the middle of human rights, and that big thing right now, it's with everything happening, as bad as it all is, with the pandemic, and as good as it all is with change. I think it's all good that it's all happening now. It's all happening right now when we're at this pivotal moment in our, history as a country, as people.
As a people. Yeah, absolutely.
What are you looking forward to accomplishing the most moving forward?
Well, as I said, I have like a couple of new things that I'm working on, and I'm happy that like, despite like unable to kind of like exude my kind of like creative self, because I've been reflecting and I've been designing on, or kind of like just seeing how I'm going to like recreate, my line for the better, moving forward as a people. Even I want to be a reflection of, 2025, so I've been deep in that, thinking about where Material Memorie was going to go, even as a person, like, being sustainable, and, now offering protection if we do offer masks. So, things like that, preparing, for a brighter and fiercer world. But like, what's been cool too is that because like throughout my career, I've been lucky to work with like so many different types of artists, even in the industrial and goth scene, which is like where I'm from. Like, that's like, it's totally who I am. Like, I've been now like working on like putting my own like kind of like creativity and like mind onto them, and like helping them strategize and create like, the artwork, the direction for their music, and giving them new life. So I've been really cool about like, it's been really cool that I got to showing like a different side of myself, you know what I mean? Like what I did for Material Memorie, I can now do to other artists, which has been really fun in this, in the last 4 months.
Yeah, being inspiration for others, other creators, like inspiring them to create and drive them forward. I think as creators and people who are artists, it's important that, we stand up, you know, and say, hey, listen, you know, I can help you push forward with what you want to push forward with as well.
Yeah.
Like if some people are unsure of a certain direction or unsure of who they are or what they want to be, you know, I think it's, you know, the job of an artist to stand up and say, hey, listen, I can help you. I can help you along this journey. I can help push and propel this forward. And if we work together, we can create some really amazing things if we work as a team.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what it's been about. And, you know, material memory, you know what I mean, in a nutshell is all about being yourself, you know? So, you know, I learned very quickly that success came from being myself. You know, like when I let go of the stigma of what are people going to think about me or what are people going to think about, you know, this design, you know, because it is a reflection of me. You know, once I let all that go, or once I let, like, you know, I let the pressures of, like, you know, like this stylist liking my work, or, you know, this magazine liking my work, once I let that all leave, that's when I found success. Like, and it's kind of like, I know that I did that for myself. So it's like kind of like now, especially in this reflective time, it's been like a source of like, okay, now how do I help other people get there? Like, how do I, especially I feel like artists and musicians, like how do I help you get there faster? You know what I mean? Because I feel like everyone has their journey, but like I think I can propel you. I think if we work together, we're gonna do something really cool. Because I'm gonna ask you to be yourself. That's all it is. I mean, that's the key to my success, is that I let it all go, and I just let it be. And that's where it is. It's like I don't care what people are gonna think about this design, because I love it, you know, and it's a representation of me. And I'm always gonna put myself, you know, the best foot forward, be jeweled and all.
What positive message would you give your fans out there?
Just right back to where this all started. Like, be yourself, you know, like, just like, I think that's where I think they already know that the fans of my work, the people who've worn my work, my customers, my clients, they know exactly who they are. And if they didn't know yet, they knew when they wore my work, you know, because it's like, you know, it's like drag. It's like getting on stage, you know, and performing. It's, you know, there's a renewed energy that happens. Something comes out, and, you know, that's when you're, you know, that's when you feel the best. You know, that's when you can say, like, you can look in the mirror and be like, holy shit, I felt, you know what, I didn't feel good today, but then I put these on and I can walk and I can face the world. So that I feel like, you know, just be yourself no matter what. It doesn't have to be with my work, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like being yourself, being who you are inside, and shining that out into the world. You know, a lot of the people, you know, a lot of people sometimes they get wrapped up in their own head. They second guess themselves. You know, they kind of go like, is this right for me to be this way, or is this right for me to show this to the world? But you know what? Hey, it's like it's your world. It's your world that you want to create. To everybody out there, the world that you want to create, it's up to you. It's don't base it on somebody else's world. You know, don't, just like success, don't base your success on somebody else's success, because it's always going to be different. And there's no roadmap to it all. There's no roadmap to success or the way that you want to live your life. It's all in how you want to do it. If you want to be out there in the world and you want to be big and loud and boisterous and just amazingly colorful and full of life, then be that and live that and embrace that as much as you can, because that right there is what's important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I mean, that's like a message that, you know what, even on my worst days, I try to remember, you know, it's, you know, every day we gotta wake up and we gotta try to make it better. Ooh, I just said a line from the song. But it's that exactly right, you know, just being yourself. And what, you know, in my sense, you know, if I can help you get there, like, so be it. But it's just trying to like find that within you, you know, every day, and putting that foot forward and then making the world better just by being yourself, honestly.
Exactly.
You know, and like in a good self, and not like, you know, these crazy people.
And also too, it's like everybody out there, you can have the kind of day that you want to have. When you wake up in the morning, get up, stretch out, say, you know what? I can have the kind of day I want to have, and it's not going to be the day that the world out there wants me to have. It's going to be the day that I want to have. And,
I put on this beat just for you.
Yeah, see, there you go. Well, thank you. You know, so to everybody out there, be yourself, always create, be big, be beautiful, and, you know, be amazing, because in this world, we need all the amazing that we can get. So thank you so much, Victor, for taking this time to sit down and do this interview with me today. Thank you to everybody who tuned in to watch us have this conversation. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe to our Fiend YouTube channel, as we have many more awesome artist interviews on the way just like this one. So thank you so much, Victor, and I look forward to seeing you again very, very soon.
Thank you.
It was my pleasure. And to everybody out there, if you haven't checked it out, be sure to check out Material Memorie. His stuff is amazing, some of the most amazing stuff I have ever seen. And as you've seen some of the things that he's done on this interview, once you check it out, your life is going to be changed. It really will.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.